guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jasmine. In today's tutorial we are going to make a low waist shirt. For the materials, I'm going to use a size 3 acrylic yarn, a 4mm hook, scissor, measuring tape, and you will also need a stitch marker. As you can see, I have two colors with me. I am going to use mint green for the waistband and also for the ruffles. Then for the body of the shirt, I will use yellow. Okay, let's get started. To get started, make a slip knot. To get started on the waistband, chain 10. After chaining 10, place 1 double crochet in the third chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. Place 1 double crochet in that third chain. And then place 1 double crochet in the next chain. Place 1 double crochet in the next chain. And continue to place 1 double crochet in each chain across until you get to your last chain. At this point, you should have 8 double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To get started on row 2, chain 3. This chain 3 counts as a double crochet stitch, and then turn your work. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Continue to place 1 double crochet in each stitch across until you get to your last stitch. I have 1 stitch left, so I'm going to place 1 double crochet in that last stitch. And you should still have 8 double crochet stitches, including this beginning chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, for the next row we are going to repeat row 2. So chain 3 and turn your work. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch and continue to place 1 double crochet in each stitch across until you get to your last stitch. At this point, we have worked 3 rows, so you are going to repeat row 3 or row 2 continuously until your waistband measures your hip size minus 7 inches. So for me, my hip size is 37 inches. 37 minus 7 is 30 inches. So I am going to repeat row 3 until when I lay my waistband like this and I measure it across without stretching, it is going to measure 30 inches. Okay, so go ahead and work your waistband until it measures your hip size minus 7 inches. I am done with my waistband. Here it is. I worked a total of 60 rows, and without stretching, my waistband measures 30 inches. We also have to make sure that the waistband can stretch easily to our hip size, so that when it's time to wear your shirt, you will not be struggling. Okay. So I'm gonna start at the beginning right here, and I'm going to stretch out my waistband to make sure that it stretches to my hip size, which is 37 inches. So it stretches to 37 inches. So that's perfect. I don't need to add any more rows. But if yours does not stretch easily to your hip size, you can add a few more rows to get it to your hip size. All right. Next up, we are going to connect both ends of the waistband. To do that, chain 1 and turn your work. Then bring the other end of your waistband, put the ends together and make sure that your waistband is not twisted. So after chaining one, insert your hook in the first stitch of the side of the waistband and then also in the opposite first stitch of the other end of the waistband, and then work one single crochet. Insert your hook in the next stitch and also in the opposite stitch and work one single crochet. Insert your hook in the next stitch and also in the opposite stitch and work a single crochet. So keep connecting opposite stitches together using single crochet until you get to the very last stitch. I have just one stitch left, so I'm going to insert my hook in that last stitch and then also in the opposite stitch and work one single crochet. There we go. Now we have connected the waistband. After connecting your waistband, you are going to turn your work inside out so that the seam stays on the inside, like so. Next up, we are going to work on the body of the shirt. So for the body of my shirt, I will be using the color yellow. So at this point, I am going to drop my mint green and I'm going to bring in yellow. And then I will yarn over and pull through the yellow color. Then pull so that you have a little tail. And then you can fasten off your mint green and leave a tail so that you can sew it in later. After pulling through your yellow yarn, chain one, and then we are going to work 2 single crochets in each of the double crochet spaces around. So after chaining one, in the first double crochet space right here, we are going to place 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. In the next double crochet space here, we are going to place 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. In the next double crochet space, place 2 single crochets. So you can either place 2 single crochets like so, 1 and 2, or you can place 1 single crochet here, and then in this small space here you place your second single crochet, okay, because this small space is still part of the space here, or is still part of the stitch, okay. So after placing 2 single crochets here, in the next space place 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. In the next double crochet space, place 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. This is what we have. So you are going to keep placing 2 single crochets in each double crochet spaces all the way around until you get to your last space. After working 2 single crochets in your last space, you are going to make a slip stitch in the very first single crochet stitch to join. To make sure that your total number of single crochets is correct, all you have to do is multiply your total number of rows times 2, and that should give you your total number of single crochet stitches. So I have 60 rows in total for my waistband. 60 times 2 is 120, and I have 120 single crochet stitches, okay. To get started on the next round, chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Then place 1 double crochet in that same stitch. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and continue to place 1 double crochet in each stitch around until you get to your last stitch. When you get to your last stitch, make a slip stitch in the very first double crochet stitch to join. To get started on the next row, chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch, and then place 1 double crochet in the first stitch. In the next stitch, place 1 double crochet and continue to place 1 double crochet in each of the stitches around until you get to your last stitch. When you get to your last stitch, you are going to make a slip stitch in the very first stitch to join. And from here forward, you are going to repeat row 2 continuously until you get to your desired length before we attach the crotch area. Okay? Alright, my loves, I have worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have worked 9 rows, and it measures about 7 inches in height. Okay, so my shirt is going to be a low waist. For extra small, you can make your shirt 7 inches, and for a size medium, I'm not really sure, but 7 inches or 7.5 should be perfect. And then for a large, you can make it 8 inches. Now that we are done with the body of the shirts, next up we are going to work on the crotch area. Before we work the crotch area, you are going to locate the stitch that is opposite the first stitch. So this is my opposite stitch. When you locate that stitch, make sure to place a stitch marker in that stitch. So when we work the crotch area, we are going to attach it in that stitch. After attaching your stitch marker, you are going to count out the total number of stitches you have between the first stitch and the marked stitch. When you count on one side, you are going to do the same thing for the other side and make sure that they are both equal. Alright, so for me, I have 59 double crochet stitches on the right hand side and also 59 double crochet stitches on the left hand side. So when you are done placing your stitch marker, you are going to make enough chains for your crotch area. For size extra small, you are going to make chains that measure 3 inches. For small and medium, you are going to make chains that measure 3.5. And then for a size large, your chains should measure 4 inches. Okay, so I am making a size small. I'm going to go ahead and make chains that measure 3.5 inches. I have made 16 chains and it measures 3.5 inches. So instead of slip stitching like this, we are going to turn our work to the correct side like so, and then take out the stitch marker and make a slip stitch into that stitch like so. After that, chain 1, place 1 double crochet in that same stitch that the crotch area is attached to. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch and continue to place 1 double crochet in each stitch around, all the way around, until you get to the last stitch before your crotch area. Alright, my loves, I have worked my stitches all the way around. Okay, so when you get to the last stitch before your crotch area, you are going to make 1 double crochet in that first stitch that is holding your crotch area. So right here, you are going to place 1 double crochet. Next up, we are going to place 1 double crochet in each of the chains across. So place 1 double crochet in the first chain, place 1 double crochet in the next chain, and continue to place 1 double crochet in each chain across until you get to your last chain. After working your last double crochet in the last stitch, you are going to make a slip stitch in the very first stitch to join. For the next row, we are just going to repeat the same thing we did for the body of the shirts. So chain 1, place 1 double crochet in that first stitch, place 1 double crochet in the next stitch, place 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and continue to place 1 double crochet in each stitch around until you get to your last stitch. When you get to your last stitch, make a slip stitch in the very first stitch to join. At this point, I am going to stop here, but if you decide to stop here, please note that your backside, aka your booty, will not be covered. So if you do not want your booty to be hanging out, you can add more rows, okay? For the next row, I am going to work my ruffles. But if you want your leg hole to be longer before the ruffles, all you have to do is repeat this second row for as long as you want, okay? After my slip stitch, I am going to chain 1 and fasten off, only because I am going to work my ruffles with a new color. I am going to attach my new color in that same stitch. To work your ruffles, chain 3. Place 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. In the next stitch, place 3 double crochets. In the next stitch, place 3 double crochets. So you are going to place 3 double crochets in each stitch around until you get to your last stitch. After working 3 double crochets in your last stitch, you are going to make a slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain 3, and then chain 1 and fasten off. But if you want your ruffles to be a little bit longer, you can chain 3 and place 1 double crochet in each of the stitches all the way around until you get to your last stitch, and then slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain 3, then chain 1 and fasten off. So far, this is what your shorts should look like, okay? So next up, I am going to quickly show you how to work the other leg hole. You are going to keep your shorts like this with the ruffle side on your right hand side, okay? And then you are going to locate that stitch that your crotch area is attached to. So right here, you are going to insert your hook in that stitch. Going back to my yellow yarn, I am going to attach yarn in that stitch. To get started on your second leg hole, chain 1 and place 1 double crochet in that same stitch. And then place 1 double crochet in the back of the first stitch of the crotch area. So this is my crotch area, this is my first stitch, and I'm going to place 1 double crochet in the back of that stitch. So I'm going to poke my hook, and there you go, place 1 double crochet there, then place 1 double crochet in the back of the next stitch, place 1 double crochet in the back of the next stitch, and continue to place 1 double crochet in the back of each stitch across until you get to your last stitch. So after placing 1 double crochet in the back of the last stitch on the crotch area, you are going to place 1 double crochet in the stitch that the crotch area is attached to. So this is my crotch and it is attached to this stitch right here. I am going to place 1 double crochet in that stitch, and then I'm going to place 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and just continue to place 1 double crochet in each stitch around until you get to your last stitch. After working your last stitch, make a slip stitch in the very first stitch to join. For the next row, chain 1 and place 1 double crochet in that same stitch. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Place 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and continue to place 1 double crochet in each stitch around until you get to your last stitch. When you get to your last stitch, make a slip stitch in the very first stitch to join. If you had worked 2 rows just like I did for this other leg hole, you are now going to chain 1, fasten off, and then attach your other color to work the ruffles. But if you had worked more rows, you are going to go ahead and repeat row 2 until you have the same number of rows that you have for this first leg hole. Okay, and then chain 1, fasten off, attach your other color, and work your ruffles. Alright my loves, I am done with my shorts and this is what it looks like. The last thing we are going to do is attach our waist tie to our waistband. For the waist tie, I made 250 chains. So when you are done with your waist tie, you are going to bring your waistband. Now I am going to attach my waist tie right here. Okay, so I'm gonna find my first double crochet row just after the seam, which is here, and then I'm going to come somewhere here and go under one of the stitch and then pull through one end of my waist tie, and then I will skip 1 row of double crochet, and still maintaining the same line I am going to go under the next stitch right here and pull through the same end of the tie. After that, skip 1 row, and in the next row, still maintaining the same line, I am going to go under 1 stitch and pull through the same end of my tie. So I'm just going to repeat that all the way around. Skip 1 row, go under 1 row and pull through your tie. Okay, continue that all the way around until you resurface in the last row before your seam. All right my loves, we are done. This is the final look and I'm so in love with it. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I love you so much. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye.